guys, Angus here. Got another Airsoft video for you guys today. You're probably wondering what it is, seeing as how we're in a little bit of a different spot than usual. Well, it's going to be a performance test. We're not only going to be chronoing the gun, we're also going to be taking a few shots at a target to see just how accurate it is. The reason for the change of scenery, it's a pretty rainy day out, and I did want to get the video done, so we decided to do it in a little bit of an enclosed area. With that being said, the gun we're going to be testing out is the one in my hands. This is the G&G Armament Chione BlowBack Airsoft AEG. Essentially, it's G&G's white BlowBack M4. Now we're going to be starting off with the Chrono as always, and for the Chrono we've got our 450 round included high capacity magazine loaded up with 0.2 gram BBs, and inside of the handguard we do have a 9.6 volt 1200 milliamp battery. Keep in mind, no battery is included with this gun when you purchase it from Airsoft Station for $185. With that being said, let's go ahead and chrono this gun, see how hard it's shooting. Alright, so we've got the Extra-Tech chronograph set up and ready to go. Let's now see how hard this gun is shooting, feet per second up first, with 0.2 gram BBs. 373.8, 377.3, 377, 374.9, 377.1, 377, and 375.8. So it looks like you're getting right around the 375 to 380 FPS. Very consistent. Now let's go full auto. Rounds per second, again, off a 9.6 volt 1200 milliamp battery. 11.9 rounds per second, which as you can see, converts roughly into a little over 700 rounds a minute. Alright, so looking at the chronograph results, I'm pretty pleased. Feet per second, actually a little bit higher than what I was expecting. I was thinking like 350-ish, but 375, 380, that's great as well, because this would make an excellent field weapon. Definitely more so what it's designed for those wintry field games when it's snowing out. But also that FPS is actually a little bit low enough so that if your CQB field, kind of a long shot, chronos with 0.25 gram BBs, you might be able to sneak it in there as well, just under the limit of their feet per second rules. So overall the FPS is solid, rate of fire as well, perfectly respectable. We got a little over 700 rounds a minute, about 12 rounds per second, which is a perfectly respectable rate of fire out of this gun off of that 9.6. Certainly not too low, also certainly not too high, so it's a good rate of fire. Now with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to an accuracy test portion of the video. We're going to be firing at a sliver of a target from about 120 feet away with our hop-up adjusted. We're going to be switching to 0.25 gram BBs for the accuracy test. Let's go ahead and take a few shots. By sliver of a target, I'm referring to the blue barrel we just used for the chronograph. Now what we're going to be doing is firing at this target, like I said, from about 120 feet away, but it's offset so that it's a little bit more difficult to hit. We'll be firing both semi and full auto, so let's go ahead, see if we can hit it. Alright, so hopefully you could see the BBs coming in there. My apologies if you couldn't. Like I said, a really crude accuracy test just because I had to switch places real fast. But overall, let me explain what I saw. As far as accuracy goes, semi was pretty accurate. They all stayed generally in the same area, but I noticed towards the end of the shot, they would kind of curve a little bit to the left or right, occasionally over. Maybe I had the hop up a tad too high, but the occasional few did go ahead and contact the barrel fairly well. Did get a couple of good streamlined shots flying in a row right there. As far as full auto goes, same thing. We suffer from the cloud effect with this gun, is what I prefer to call it. Essentially, all the BBs come down in a straight line, but then they start to spread away into kind of a cloud of BBs into one area. Effective in certain situations, but when it comes to hitting the target, you'd have 5 come down here, maybe 2 hit the target, and the rest kind of scatter about. But still a fairly effective hop-up unit because they are definitely reaching the target and hitting it fairly accurately. The main thing I noticed with the accuracy test was full auto, the high cap, typical of these type of magazines, did not want to feed, had to constantly wind it to keep it going. Otherwise, a fairly accurate gun, and with a solid FPS reading and good rate of fire, this is a pretty nice gun on my performance scale. With that being said, this has been the performance test of the G&G Armament Chione BlowBack M4. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.